So John Hattie's work has risen to prominence. His statistics and his meta-analyses have become very popular, and a lot of administrators like to use the data and like to use the findings to try to guide and direct what's happening. I had a workshop with John Hattie about 6 or 7 years ago, and the question begs to be asked, is John Hattie a hypocrite? Now, here's why I asked this question. Because one of his key mantras in that workshop that I attended was know thy impact. As teachers, we need to try to know the impact that we're having on students. And so Hattie, of course, is big on assessment. This is what this gets to, right? And so we can't just teach and then just hope for the best, right? He's wanting, I believe, his message is that we teach and we assess and we have to understand, are we having an effect? Are we having an impact? John Hattie had an impact on me that he will, and if he watches this video, right, maybe he'll know about, but up until now, without me making this video, he would have no idea of the impact that he had on me. Okay, and so this is why I'm asking, is it hypocritical to say know thy impact when his workshop has had a profound impact on my teaching and he would be none the wiser? How he had an impact on me was introducing me to the solo taxonomy, which just came at just the right time as I was trying to wrestle with the IB psychology assessment framework that was using Bloom's, and I was trying to distinguish between higher order thinking and lower order thinking. And then I saw the solo and I thought, wow, that's great. And then that inspired me to tweak it and adapt it and adjust it to my own Trav's triad, the 3 levels of learning, which I've made another video about. And it wasn't a revolution in my teaching. My teaching didn't take a left turn or a U-turn. It was just a massive push forward, a jolt forward. Okay, so now where does this come and how does this reflect on us as classroom teachers? Well, I would say, okay, know thy impact, possibly, but I don't think that that's my ambition to know my impact. I really think that that is a nice ambition and a nice goal, but is it realistic and is it a practical possibility? How many of us have had teachers had an impact on us that they would never know about it? And often we don't know the impact someone had on us until way later in life. And so I get the idea that, okay, we want to assess and make sure that we're trying to see if we taught the things we tried to teach. Okay, great. But I'm not getting bogged down in assessment. My ambition is to try to teach kids cool things that one day they will use. I'm trying to have an impact. I'm trying to plant seeds. I'm trying to be a meaningful, impactful teacher that will make a difference in my students' lives. But I'm not going to worry too much about measuring that effect because I know the deepest impact I'll have on my students is probably immeasurable. So sure, know thy impact. It's okay, but I think we are getting a little bit bogged down in assessment and data, and that is, we're focusing so much on the measuring of what we're trying to teach as opposed to, I prefer at the moment, what I'm trying to do is just master the content that I am trying to teach so I can make that the most meaningful possible. I'd rather try to teach something that I think is really valuable and never assess it than assess something that's just mundane and know that I taught something, but it was just pretty mundane and meaningless. So I'm more of a content is king kind of guy. This is where I'm at the moment with my teaching. So that's where I come back to, okay, is John Hattie a hypocrite, right? Maybe a deliberately clickbaity title. I'm not, haven't had anything to do with my admin has never put pressure on me to do any of the statistics or use any of his research in my day-to-day teaching. I've had complete autonomy for the last few years, which has been great, but he had a massive impact on me with introducing me to the solo taxonomy. And that's the key, right? Just that seed. So I went to that seminar. He had this seed that he had, the solo taxonomy that he knew most teachers didn't know about for whatever reason. I don't know why people don't know about it. And he planted it. And I guarantee you for most, possibly every other teacher in that seminar, there's no way I would know, but possibly every other teacher in that seminar, that seed withered and died. The solo taxonomy didn't last, but for me, it made a meaningful impact. And again, I come back to that's the role of a teacher. Okay, we're planting seeds all the time. We're choosing something and going, I want you to learn this because I think it's going to be very valuable. Most of the time, it's probably going to wither and die. But just for that one person, it might take hold and root, and who knows the effect that that could have. Like for me, this guy here, making this channel, making this content, right? Part of the reason why I make this content is because I developed some ideas based on the solo taxonomy and a whole bunch of other ideas in teaching that I think are valuable, that I've had enough feedback so far from teachers saying that's really helped them, that's inspired me to keep going. So, know thy impact, okay, maybe. But I think the more important ambition is to aim to have a deep and lasting and meaningful impact, and then everything else can follow from that. All right, cheers.